whereas the government of Kerala, any incoming government has more or less about less than whereabouts of 9 lakh crore to sort of spend on.
Yeah.
The manifestos often promise more than 40 lakh crore.
Yeah.
People don't cross-check whether this is possible at all.
I think that's you have made a very good point. When you are going for the manifestos in 2026, I think the people should not look at what they are going to do, but how they are going to do.
People also don't realize is that they got to pay for it.
Yes.
Nobody will pay or repay.
Yeah.
So this is a good point to request Dr. Joe Sebastian to please invite. I wanted to start by asking you. You have written two extremely pointed and interesting chapters where you have fundamentally examined the revenue profile of the government as well as the spending priorities. And you are recognizing that the state is in the cusp of a fiscal, if I can say, extreme difficulty, or I don't want to use the word crisis, but it is in distress. So you are fundamentally have hit a very strong point that the taxation induces a lot of iniquity in the state. The poor get taxed disproportionately to what they get from the state. Would you like to sort of start commenting on that?
See, the basic problem with Kerala is that we don't mobilize the required resources, what is actually required. And the second problem is that we mobilize public resources disproportionately high from the poor and marginalized. Our contribution towards public purposes, the contribution of citizens, it has come down. And from where we mobilize public resources, 61% of it comes from liquor, lottery, motor vehicles and petrol. Of these four items, if you take the three ones, petrol, liquor and lottery, together it contributes 49% of revenue. I will give you an example. How to mobilize public resources and how not. Now, I am a pensioner. I get a paltry sum of 2,265 as EPF pension. We don't have a statutory pension. But I have investments. I have one property in Kochi, two in Trivandrum. So I am quite well off that way. Around 50,000 rupees per month income. See, I don't drink. I don't buy lottery. For the last 10 years I have been participating. Then, about petrol, I feel I may be spending at the most 10,000 rupees on petrol. So that way, I don't spend much. I'm a retired person, I don't have to impress anybody by buying new dress or cosmetics or something. That is gone now. So, a retired person like me, people of my age who have retired from colleges and universities have around 1 lakh rupee. Their pension itself is around 70,000 rupee and they must be having income from other sources. So how much they are spending? That is not happening. We make the poor people spend. You take the case of an auto rickshaw man. He has to fill 5 liters of petrol every day. So 5 into 25, how much it is?
125.
125 liters. And you can see the price. 125 into 100. On an average, it will be around 2,500 rupees on petrol. Because he has to run the autos. And he is an addict of liquor and lottery. After completing 10 hours of work or 8 hours of work, he has to consume something. And he spends minimum 150 for a quarter. Liquor purchase at rupees 60.49 is sold for 690. I got this information through Right Information Act.
Let me just point you towards that. There's a very interesting argument you are making. Fundamentally, that liquor and fuel are overpriced. Admittedly, because it's overpriced due to the cess structure and the very disproportionate taxation on liquor, and it affects the lower income groups who do not consume premium products. Now, when you juxtapose this with the other issue, which is saying that the middle class and the upper class are undertaxed for or undercharged for education and health services, that calls for a large correction there, right?
Yeah.
How do you think the state should go about doing it? So that would make immediately, if I can put it bluntly, higher education and hospitals costlier, slightly, when you rationalize these two. And that is a difficult thing to do for a middle class oriented, manifesto driven, LD, UD, whatever formation. How would you advise them to rectify this?
Yeah, the problem, we don't mobilize resources from the rich and the middle class and rich. I belong to the middle class. So how the state can mobilize resources from me? I told liquor, lottery and petrol. The state cannot mobilize much resources. And I don't pay much income tax because up to 12 lakhs there is no income tax now. So I have a total income of 6 lakhs. I don't pay income tax. So how to mobilize it? There are ways. If the state levies a higher property tax. Now for the 3 properties together, I must be paying around 25,000 per year as property tax. If the state can make it 50,000, I have to pay. Liquor is optional, lottery is optional, petrol is optional, but a property tax cannot be optional. You have to pay. That is the difference between indirect tax and direct tax. In indirect tax, you have the option. So, the option is enjoyed by people like me, not auto puller. And I told you, auto puller, they are the people who take a lottery. Recently, we had the Onam member. The state mobilized 350 crores by selling lottery tickets. Per ticket is 500 rupees. 75 lakhs tickets were printed, and in the process, the state mobilized that. So, please, we try to mobilize resources from the poor. There are options. If the property tax is increased, I will have to pay. But unfortunately, the property tax is devolved to the local boards, and they don't have the technical capability, the motivation to collect it. So I have put forward a suggestion in the book that the state should take over the property tax through a tax rental arrangement wherein the losses suffered by the local bodies will be more than covered. And through modern technology like GIS, geographical position, GPS and all, the state can mobilize maybe 15% more property. It is possible. So then people like me will have to pay, cover more to the public resource. Then electricity duty. I have a AC in almost 4 bedrooms in my house. How much I am paying as electricity charge? Maybe 5,000 or 6,000. Bi-monthly electricity charge. If the state imposes a higher electricity duty, automatically I will have to pay. Then comes the health and education. Students, maybe all of you have mobile phones, and I assume your average mobile expenditure per month will be 500. So your total the expenditure on mobile is 6,000. Whereas Vice Chancellor told me the per year fee charge is less than 4,000. Less than 4,000.
More than that, but still,
maybe let us put it as 5,000. Even the students don't spend on fee, an equivalent amount as their mobile phone expenditure.